SpaceX sends its first crew of private citizens to space. This is Nerdist Now. It seems like every week there's a new story about civilian space travel, and my offer still stands to every company. I'm willing to tattoo whatever on my chest for a free lift to the moon for a couple days. Don't ask why. Don't ever ask why. But this week, as we're recording this video right now, SpaceX has launched its first crew of private citizens into orbit, and it's for a good cause. CEO and chairman of Shift 4 Payments, Jared Isaacman, booked the Crew Dragon capsule over a year ago and has selected 3 normal people to ride with him on what has been dubbed the Inspiration 4 mission. It's the first completely private mission launched into orbit and is also operating as a multi-million-dollar fundraiser for St. Jude's Children's Hospital in the process. Isaacman's crew includes Haley Arsenault, a cancer survivor and physician's assistant at St. Jude's, will also be operating as the mission's medical officer. Christopher Sembrowski, a data engineer at Lockheed Martin, and Sean Proctor, a geology professor and former NASA astronaut candidate who is finally getting her chance to go into space, will be serving as the mission's pilot as well. The crew will utilize SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket, secured inside the same Crew Dragon capsule that sent a 4-person crew of government astronauts to the International Space Station and back nearly a year ago. Isaacman, a trained jet pilot, will command the flight. Inspiration 4's destination is about 80 miles higher than the ISS. While in orbit, they'll view the Earth through 2 windows and a new glass dome that was added to the top of the capsule. Inspiration 4 has brought along sponsored items to auction off for St. Jude's upon its return. Some of the items include flight jackets, watches, a ukulele, and Sam Adams is sending 66 pounds of hops aboard the flight to use in a batch of charity space beer. Space beer. The crew will re-enter the atmosphere after 3 days in orbit, depending on the weather in Florida, and will then splash down in the Atlantic Ocean, where SpaceX recovery teams will meet up with the capsule and crew and then bring them ashore. Isaacman and the crew have been training since March of 2021, roughly 7 months before Inspiration 4's liftoff. Training includes centrifuge sessions in order to get used to the extreme amount of G-forces of lifting off atop a rocket, a microgravity experience aboard a zero-G flight, and have spent weeks of training at SpaceX's headquarters in Hawthorne, California, to familiarize the passengers with the capsule. The mission is currently still in orbit, scheduled to land tomorrow, but if all goes well, Inspiration 4 will mark the first fully private mission for SpaceX, which developed its Crew Dragon spacecraft as part of NASA's Commercial Crew program, which will serve as one of NASA's many rides to the ISS, along with Boeing's CST-100 Starliner. Now, this is a big moment for not just SpaceX, but the potential future of space tourism as well. At least that's what private space companies are hoping for. They're going to have to drop their prices a little before they get too excited. I'm not paying that much. A seat on SpaceX's Crew Dragon costs around $55 million, sure. And a seat on Boeing's Starliner is somewhere in the ballpark of $90 million, but you get drinks. Virgin Galactic and Blue Origin are offering shorter suborbital flights to the edge of space, but those are still extremely expensive. Virgin Galactic reportedly charges $450,000 for a seat on its Spaceship Two, which flies about 53 miles high for a few minutes of weightlessness and views of the curvature of the Earth. Blue Origin has yet to announce prices for seats aboard its suborbital New Shepard rocket, which launches roughly 66 miles above ground for a similar experience to Virgin Galactic. But unless you find a really good Groupon, odds are it's out of your price range. Ours too, and probably yours. Like at least 95% of us. So while we're definitely more than a few years out from being able to book a fun trip past the moon like it's renting an Airbnb, Inspiration 4's launch is a big step forward for the possible future of commercial space travel, as well as helping people fulfill their dreams. But tell us, what do you think? Do you believe that commercial space travel will happen in our lifetime? What would you bring with you for a 3-day space trip? Would you drink space beer if I handed it to you? Let us know in the comments below. And for the latest and greatest in the world of pop culture and science and space and all things cool, stay tuned to Nerdist.com.